Hello, guys of United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company with Sharon of Within Temptation. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you.
So, of course, we had a lot of questions about the new album Bleed Out. Until the COVID period, you released some singles. And then the 20th October, you will release an album called Bleed Out with new songs, of course, but also with the past singles. Tell us more about this multiple release.
Well, when we started releasing singles, of course, the first thing that we had on our mind when we wrote some new songs was the fact that we were going on tour with Evanescence, and we already had promoted the Resist album since in 1.5 year. And we felt like, okay, we're going on tour with them, so then we need to have some new material. So we wrote some new stuff that we really liked. And then COVID happened. So we felt like, okay, we can't release it now. What? Because we're not going on tour. And it got postponed and postponed. And we felt like, okay, we need to do something for ourselves, not going crazy at home, but also for our fans, maybe something to look forward to. So we released already some songs, even though there was no album. And we did also an aftermath virtual reality show. We did a lot of things actually. But then, of course, we had to catch up with the tour that we had been postponing for 4 times. And then at that time, we already had released a few songs. So what are you going to do with those? We didn't really have a plan because, well, the thing was more that we wanted to release some songs in the moment about society, issues in society, but also about things that inspired us to write about. And that really worked for us. But normally when you have a record deal, which we don't have and didn't have at that time, we felt like, okay, we want to do it in a different way. So we just want to release some songs and maybe never an album. We didn't know yet. And then eventually fans said to us like, okay, yeah, but then you have released really nice songs and it's not going to be on the vinyl. I got all these vinyls, but we don't get new ones. We thought, yeah, that's true too. So eventually we're ending up now, especially because of COVID, with a lot of songs already released before the album comes out, which was never the plan. But things just went that way because of COVID, and it took such a long time to get through that time. So we wanted to give our fans something and also to keep ourselves busy. So that's the reason why there's so many singles already out there.
And now you have your own record company, First
Yes.
Music Recordings. Was it important for you to be independent?
Yes, especially to do it, like I said, that we wanted to release in the moment, because the record company that we were signed with had an option for another album, and they wanted to take that option. But we were talking about, okay, how are we going to do that? Because we want to release in the moment a little bit more singles than normally without even having a record finished. They said, but we can't do that because we are a traditional record company. We can't do it differently. And then we felt, okay, then we have to part ways. We really want to do this. And they said, well, if you really want to do this, then we're not the right party for you. We're not the right company for you to do this with. So we decided to part, and we did it in a friendly way, which is nice for the change, because we had some different difficulties with record companies in the past about certain things. And so it was nice to do it this way. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk about music. When I listen the songs for the first time, I have the impression of that the atmosphere was more heavier. The guitars also are more heavier. So first of all, you agree with that analysis that I did?
Completely. Yeah, 100%.
And second question, did something change the way you write the music of the new songs?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. It's the things that inspired us, like not just musically, but also the subjects that inspired us. It all just came together like in a heavier sound. So the things that inspired us, like the Ukrainian war, the things happening in Iran with Masa Amini, those kind of subjects really triggered us to find it a heavier sound. I don't think we have ever sounded this heavy ever before. We detuned even lower than we ever could have, because technology has changed, and the bands that we are inspired by are also a little bit heavier tuned. It was really nice to find that inspiration and finally find that right combination of singing a little bit angelic still, and still have a very heavy sound. That is the perfect match for me.
Absolutely. So you just talk about the lyrics and the topics you talk about. So it seems that the topics you deal with, the new lyrics, are more involved in the society and political level.
Yes.
Is this approach done to raise public awareness, or just a therapy to relieve the stress of these situations?
It's both. It's for us dealing with the shock, what is happening in the world, because it seems like the world has not become more beautiful lately. Last 5 years, it's only become worse. And it's always, of course, you always had wars, but like this, like Russia is like a superpower, and the things they do, it's beyond belief. But also in America with Trump, it's it's like one nutcase after another. It's like, and they're getting so much space to destroy so many things. Somebody said to me lately, like, oh, but they're very old. In a few years, they won't be here anymore. It will go over. It will pass by. I said it won't, because they are inspiring new right-winged populist parties to do the same way. Uh, uh, twisting the truth, and where we need transparency and those kind of things. So it's that inspired us to write these songs. And it's not just to deal it with your own shock that you're dealing with, but also to keep certain subjects alive, and that people keep on thinking about what they're going to do with the next elections, because there's so many elections coming up this year. And I really hope that maybe in a small way we can contribute to that.
Which lyrics were the most difficult to write, and why?
Well, actually, Broken, which is more a personal song, but I think all the political ones came very easily, because it was so clear what we wanted to say and what our view on that is. And there's no chance of misinterpreting our lyrics, I guess, because it's very clear that we stand behind the Ukraine, as they were the ones that are invaded, and not Russia. So it's that's for us a more clear statement. Where there are other wars going on in the world, which are also big, like for instance now in Israel and with the
Yes.
Palestinians, which is a very difficult subject for us, because it's been going on for such a long time, and there's happened so many things. Although I must say, yeah, it's really sad to see this again. If I would be in the studio now, I would write a song about that probably, because it needs to be every person needs to deal with that kind of heavy thing in life, because it's very depressing to see these kind of things.
Absolutely. And so the artwork of the new album, the design of the new album is really amazing, and also dark. It's just because the lyrics are darker than usual. So tell us more about the meaning of the artwork, cover, and who did it.
Well, the thing is, this was artwork that was already made, and by a Frenchman. But oh my God, I'm trying to remember his name.
No problem,
oh my
no
God.
problem. No problem.
Anyway, maybe you can put it in later. I'll send it to you, because I've got a blackout. But he already made this artwork, and we loved it because it really represents how we see certain subjects and how we feel. And also I think that a lot of people feel who are in this situation of this war and fighting against certain regimes. So it's the cover, and the title is about the fact that you can't take it anymore. Bleed out is a metaphor for, I'll give my life because I can't go back to living the way we're living in this world right now, and dealing with the subjects in this specific country, if it's Ukraine, or it's in Iran, or it's in wherever these heavy subjects are. Because also in South America, there's a lot of things
Absolutely.
going on, and people fighting for justice in many ways. And so I think it's multi-interpretable for a lot of situations and countries.
Absolutely. So I picked two songs that I want to talk about. The first one is "Entertain You."
Yes.
I love this song because it has a poppy spirit on it, especially on the verse.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that song.
It's a bit. It's the first song that we released of this album, and I saw a video going viral about a trans woman walking in the street in London, and she was harassed by 3 men, and they were just picking on her constantly, and she's trying to stay polite. But this is a strong strong transgender lady, and then the situation turns around that she can't take it anymore. She just loses it, and then she just starts hitting them, but really like, yeah, they really get their ass kicked. And it's what they do in the video is like they are using her as entertainment. It's like the whole group picking on one person. And you see a lot of times when people are different in society, there's never one-on-one interaction. It's always a group picking on a certain person. And I felt really sad about it because I've a lot of people that are my friends who are gay or transgender, and you know, my group of friends is very diverse. And I can't even think how that feels. So I was really like, this song came out. It's like they are not there to entertain you, you know, and from their voice, like, we're not here to entertain you. We're different, but in our difference, we are beautiful and we stand together.
Thank you. Let's talk about the way you sing. On a song, We Go to War.
Yes.
It seems like the words you sing are whispered rather than sung.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the song, I'd give a very interesting artistic dimension. Tell us more about that choice.
Well, because the word, that's very, very sharp of you, I think, because I did it intentionally, because go to war is such a statement, and it's such a horrible thing to say, we go to war, because it sounds like you're applauding it. But it's, in this case, what the song wants to say is we have no options except defending ourselves, which means we have to go to war, although we don't want to. We don't want this war. But it's forced upon you. And then I didn't want to make it that heavy by singing it really loud and aggressive. I thought maybe if I whisper it, then it will come across different, like you noticed.
That's the reason why. Okay. So let's talk about touring. We know that you will tour in October and November, but 2024.
Yes.
Why is the tour scheduled almost a year after the album's release? Usually, tours take place around the time the album is released.
Well, most of the time when we release a tour, then it's always a year after, because you see that sometimes people need to hear the word that there's a tour coming. Sometimes it takes a long time for people to maybe also save up, and so we give everyone a year the time to buy a ticket. And you see a lot of bands doing that, actually, because it's not like it's sold out like this. You know, you have to build it up and give people the chance to be aware there's a show, and also that they can save up for it if they need to.
Do you plan to play some festivals on the next summer?
No, we're not planning any festivals this year, especially because we also need a break of everything that we've done. We've been catching up a lot of COVID shows and a lot of extra new shows that were even on top of that. So we have been working all year to finish the album, to record everything, and also touring a lot. Even did a support act through from Iron Maiden through America. So we feel like we really need to have a little bit of a break, and maybe even try some new songs already. Maybe just for fun to write something and don't feel any pressure of anything.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the information about the new album. We love a lot this new album, so thank you very much. And we will have to wait October and November next year to see you live. Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bonjour. This is Sharon from Within Station, and go and listen to United Rock Nations. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Sharon.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hope to see you very soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.